Hey guys, welcome back to Tiny House Customs. I'm Dan, and in today's video, I'm going to be installing pressure treated plywood on the bottom of my trailer. So I'm going to try to do all my measuring from the top, cut the piece, and then I'll go down and hopefully it'll fit in there. So first thing I need to do is get my total length. So I'll mark my length, which is 80 inches. I'll use a chalk line to connect those 2 points. So underneath I have those 1/2 inch sheet plates that are going to stick past. So I'm going to have to notch out the pressure treated to accommodate that. So at 46 inches and 52 3/8, and that's going to be 1 inch and 1 3/4 inches in from the ends. 1 inch and 1 3/4 inches in from the end. So we'll hold on that outside corner there. Mark 46, 52 3/8. Square those across. On your speed square, there's marks right here, 1 inch, 2 inch, and then all the fractions as well. So I can just hold it right there, put my pencil on 1 inch, slide across, come back, go to 1 3/4 inches, and I know that needs to be removed right there. It's also going to hit one of the side ones too, so I got to measure for that as well. It's good to always go back and just double check your measurements before you cut. Make sure you didn't mark it like 1 inch off or something. Forgot my sunglasses. If you would just comment below how you hate me. Before I fasten anything to the bottom of the trailer, I want to make sure that my trailer is perfectly square. To do that, I'm just going to measure from corner to corner. Here I have 21 foot 7.5. On this side I have 21 foot 7 and 11/16. Now to figure out perfect square, I just take those two numbers and find the difference. 21 foot 7 and 11.5. So I want 9/16 strong. To square it up, I attach a ratchet strap from corner to corner. I'll tighten it down, and what that'll do is it'll rack it this way. So that brought me to 21 foot 7 and 9/16 strong, which makes this perfectly square. It's getting a little too dark to film, so I'm going to cut it right here, and I'll pick up again tomorrow. Peanut, no! Watch out. Go lay down. You're going to hit my camera, and then we'll have problems. Don't even stay away from it. I will eat it. I'll chew it up when you're not looking. This piece I'm cutting right now has to get notched around that 1/2 inch sheet plate, and it also has to get notched around my my axle brackets, and I also have to make the notch for the wheel well. So this is going to be one of the most complicated sheets that I got to cut. I made sure I measured everything. I gave myself about 1/8 inch around all the brackets that I need to go around. I made sure that my length was 1/2 and 1/2 on a joist, and that my sheet total length won't stick past my outside skirt piece. Since most of us are building tiny houses on a real tight budget, it's important to make sure you're keeping track of where your pieces are going to go. You want to be planning ahead, so that I'm not ending up short on my plywood, and then also I don't want to have extra plywood. So before I cut a full sheet to fill in a little piece here, I'm going to make sure that I have a full sheet to do my next 2 pieces. Peanut, don't chew that. That's pressure treated. That's good, man. It's got all the chemicals in it. I like it. Peanut. Now, to simplify cutting all these pieces, just break it into smaller steps. So I need a piece that's 33 3/4. So I'm going to cut that piece out. I'll take that piece and I'll place it basically right on top of where it needs to go. So when I get my measurement for one section, I'll transfer that mark up on top of here, and I know it's in the correct location. If this piece didn't fit, it was going to be where the hanging brackets were and where this piece of plate was. So if I needed to, I could just drop it down, take off an 1/8 inch or a 1/4 inch, whatever I needed to do to make it fit. But I got lucky and it fits in there good. Screw my one corner in. Just showing my double chin. I got a double chin. So right now I'm just screwing every piece up. Basically just tacking them in. Once I get them all put in, I'm going to go back and I'm going to sit under here for 2 or 3 hours and I'm going to screw it completely in. When I'm cutting my pieces and then I'm butting them together down on the bottom, I always want to try to make the factory edge connect with another factory edge. So when I'm cutting all my pieces, I'm making sure that's happening. So I'm always going to try to pull my numbers off of a factory edge and go towards the outside. So I'll measure my next piece 65 3/4 and I'll hook onto that factory edge 65 3/4. I'm using these clamps to help me hold the piece up. I'm not tightening them down all the way. The piece can still move in here. It's just going to hold it up. Oh my God. Before you place your plywood on, you want to look at it, see which has got the better face on it. I mean, both sides are pretty crappy. I want to make sure that I don't have to rip my last piece. I'm just going to butt into my plywood there, and I'm perfect right at 4 feet. Check both sides. Beautiful. When I'm working on my trailer, I have it sitting on blocks, but I also put these blocks in here just in case this were, if the trailer were to fall off those blocks, there'd be something to catch. I might be stuck in here and not have my phone on me, so I mean somebody will find me eventually, but I won't get crushed completely. I tell you, making these videos is not the easiest thing in the world to do. It is like 20 more steps. Hit that subscribe button, would you? Show me a little love. So this piece I'm going to make sure that I'm half and half right there. I hope my audio's on. Yeah, my audio's on. So this piece I'm going to make sure I'm half and half on this joist right here. And I'm also tight to that other piece of plywood. I'll screw it in. And I'll leave the screws on the other side. All right, all my pressure treated plywood's cut and tacked in. Now I'm just gonna go back and screw it all in. One thing you might be able to notice that anytime I had a joint running this way, I made sure I staggered those joints. So there's another joint as far away as I could put it. You always want to stagger them at least 16 inches. If you can go 4 feet, I would recommend it. The next one would be 32 inches. Unless you're doing 2 foot on center, then at least go that 2 feet. All right, now that I have all the plywood in, everything's tacked up, I just got to go back and screw it. When I'm screwing it, anytime there's an edge on it, I want to go 4 to 6 inches on center, and that's rough. I mean, you don't need to measure it or anything, just do roughly 4 to 6 inches. Anytime I have in the field, which would be anything where it just connects to the joist and there's no joint, I can go 6 to 8 inches. Now that's code, and we all know tiny houses don't really follow code, but whatever. Now I didn't glue any of the plywood onto the joist, just in case I ever have to replace it. It'll be easy to take off. And I'm also using screws instead of nails. You can use nails, but since it's hanging, the plywood's going to be hanging on the bottom, I recommend using a good screw. These are 1 5/8" deck screws, and I bought about a bazillion of them. 5 pounds. Doesn't even tell you how many are in there, but I'm going to use a lot of them. So, how about a little time lapse? Alright guys, I got about 1 million screws to put in, so I'm not going to bore you with that video. If you're new to my channel and you want to follow my build, make sure you hit that subscribe button and show me a little love by hitting that like button. In my next video, I'll be removing the tires, leveling the trailer completely, and installing Roxel insulation. Thanks for watching, guys.